Warning, this show contains strong language and topics that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, Suplah City, and welcome to another breaking edition of the Suplah, I guess. I'm here with Brendan Davis.
Holy shit, I'm back.
He's back. He's been gone for a while, but we're here because WWE's done some spring cleaning. They've got rid of 8 of their talent, of their roster. 8 people have been released. And they are in no particular order, but they are Hornswoggle, Alex Riley, El Torito, Cameron, Santino Marella, Wade Barrett, or Bad News Barrett, and Damien Sandow. Those are the wrestlers that they've got rid of, and they've also released Zeb Coulter. So, some of them, most of them, to be honest, doesn't really shock me. Hornswoggle's not been on television in forever. Alex Riley was, since he was the Miz's protege, didn't really do anything himself. He was on commentary in NXT, and then he went back to wrestling, but nothing ever really took off. El Torito, again, not really been seen since Primo and Epico got repackaged from Los Matadores to the Colognes. Santino Marella, that one did surprise me, simply because I didn't actually think he was still on the roster. I thought he had been gone for a while. I know he's been retired. That's why I thought, I genuinely thought that he wasn't there anymore. So the fact that he was still under contract surprises me.
That's what I was thinking too. But they're just paying him to do nothing.
Well, he was on Swerved, and that was about it. It was in one episode of Swerved.
So nothing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was surprised that he apparently was still employed by the company. But that's just me. Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, not that much of a surprise. He was a big star, and then he kind of lost his spot a little bit. It's been obvious that he's been quite outspoken. Well, not outspoken, but he's not been happy with his position. He's made it known that he wasn't going to re-sign with the WWE when his contract came to an end regardless, and that's why he got written off television by being kicked out of the League of Nations, which only about 2 weeks later dissolved themselves. So him leaving is not that much of a surprise. Same with Zeb Coulter in a way. Again, if you haven't been seen for a while, you kind of just
fade into obscurity.
Yeah, you're going to get forgotten, so it's obvious that Zeb Coulter was going to go. We haven't seen... I mean, he's a legend, he's fine, I'm sure he'll come back at some point, but they don't need him at this specific point in the company and their storyline, so they've let him go. He's probably going to go on to do the indies and manage some indie wrestlers or be a booker somewhere else, so I'm sure he'll be fine. But the one that does surprise me, and it shouldn't surprise me because of the way they've been using him, but it does surprise me. Damien Sandow.
That was a shocker when I saw that come through.
Damien Sandow, as we all know, he won Money in the Bank a couple of years ago and cashed in against John Cena and lost. The guy looked like he was being made to be a star. And then when he cashed in and lost against Cena, the guy's just never really been able to find momentum in terms of in terms of storylines. Like, the writers have never really found him useful since then. I know as Damien Mizdow, he did very well. He was getting more pops than the Miz. He was over simply by being the stunt double. But then when they split them two up, again, he didn't do anything. He kind of, if he was lucky, he'd show up on Superstars. That was about it. And it's a shame because out of all of them, Wade Barrett is a good talent, and I'm not saying that he's not, but Damien Sandow, Wade Barrett had lost interest in the WWE, and by the sounds of it, what he posted on, I think it was Twitter or Facebook, he's lost interest in wrestling as it is at the moment. He said he's taking time off. He's going to try some other things. Damien Sandow was a guy who just loved being there. He never complained about his position. Even, they were in Dubai, and Ryback's going on about how he didn't like that he wasn't on the main WrestleMania show, but he was on the pre-show. Damien Sandow, the guy who interviewed him, was basically like, you should be pushed. You should be, higher in the card. And he just said, well, as long as I'm entertaining people, I feel like I'm doing my job. I'm quite happy to be doing that. The guy was happy where he was, really, and it's a shame because he was so low down. He should have been higher. He was a great talent. He had a lot of charisma. He was good on the mic. And
yeah, they just never utilized him properly.
Exactly. They never utilized him. And I'm so hoping that we have an EC3 situation on our hands where WWE completely missed the ball, dropped the ball, messed up with a character and a superstar. He goes to Lucha Underground or Global Force Wrestling or maybe Japan. He could work Japan and he becomes a megastar there. He deserves it. He's a good worker. He's good on the mic. He's got a lot of charisma, and they've just dropped the ball because they'd rather push someone like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, they always drop the ball on like talented people for some reason. You ever noticed that?
Yeah. I mean, they let go of Drew McIntyre, who then became Drew Galloway. Again, a great star in his own right. Derek Bateman, who became EC3. Eric Carter III, who at first I hated. I thought he was a stupid character. I didn't think I'd ever get over, and then suddenly became the best heel in TNA. And then they went and turned him face because, you know, everyone was cheering him, fair enough, I guess, but I thought he worked better as a heel. I thought his character was better as a heel. It's a natural heel. But again, he became a big star in TNA in his own right. And I'm hoping that Damien Sandow can do the same. Cameron doesn't really surprise me. She's not really been over. It's just funny, though, that yesterday she posted on Twitter or Tumblr or Facebook, I don't know whichever one of these media sites they are, social media sites, but she posted that the WWE Universe has cyberbullied her for about 5 years, ever since her appearance on Tough Enough back in 2011, where she said that her favourite match was Melina versus Alicia Fox, right? And she was like, I didn't know any better, I didn't really watch wrestling. Anyway, she goes on trying to defend herself, defending Ryback, and then she insinuates that all wrestling fans are living in the basement, in their parents' basement, because she ends it with the line, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm going off the top of my head here. She ends with the line, "When your mother comes down to give you your dinner, send her my love." Right, that's what she ends it on, and I just find it funny that she posts that, and then 24 hours later she gets released from the company. There's one thing you don't really want to do, and that's insult your fans.
What fans?
Right? Well, okay, but at the end of the day, the WWE Universe, the fans, the people that show up to NXT or Raw or SmackDown or really any WWE show or subscribe to the network, technically, they're paying your wage, mate. They're giving the company the money who gives it to you. So you don't insult the people who are basically paying your salary.
Yeah, that's
Whether
true.
it's the WWE or the fans, we're investing money into the product, and you've learned a hard lesson, in my opinion. It might not have anything to do with that. She might just be because it was crap. She was a genuinely crap wrestler. She tried to pin somebody when they were on their stomach, for Christ's sakes. Right? And again, she was like, I didn't know any better. You just watch. Come on. Did you not think when you were going on to Tough Enough, oh, I'll watch a couple of matches and see how it works? Like, I understood that you pinned somebody on their back within the first at least 2 matches that I watched on my very first Raw. I kind of got it pretty quickly. So, Cameron's not much of a surprise. El Torito, again, not much of a surprise. I can see him going to Lucha Underground.
Yeah, they tend to utilize, like, the smaller luchadors pretty well. Like, they have them fight anyone.
Hornswoggle has already been announced to be on Global Force Wrestling. He's on a Global Force Wrestling show. Within not even 24 hours of being released, he's already booked for another wrestling gig. Zeb Coulter 2 is on there. So the only one that we don't really know about in terms of future is Alex Riley. I mean, he's not really said anything. He's not got any clear direction as to where he's going to go. So... But it's not that much of a loss. I was never a big Alex Riley fan. He never really made much of an impact. He was on the main event of Raw teaming with Cena, and then you never saw him again ever.
Yeah, and honestly, he's all right in the ring. It's just there was nothing for him to do. Like, I didn't know anything about his character last time. Was he like the varsity villain or something?
Yeah, that was it. He was a varsity villain, and then just nothing about it.
So it's just a guy that wouldn't let go of his high school days or something.
Yeah. So, ultimately, we'll start wrapping this up really quickly because I just want to kind of get it out there. I'm sure on a future episode of the Suplah we'll dive more into it and look at how they've actually cocked up these characters. on a big... Sorry, I just burped. That was disgusting. We'll look into how they cocked up these characters in a more in-depth level. But for now, these 8 guys, Hornswoggle, Alex Riley, El Torito, Cameron, Santino Morello, Wade Barrett, Damien Sandow, and Zeb Coulter have all been released from the company. Very sad days for them. But was it worth trimming the fat? Let us know. Do you think it was right or wrong that any of these guys got let go? And where do you think they'll end up next? Let us know in the comments below. We'll have a poll somewhere on the video that you can interact with. So thank you, Brendan, for being here to do this little news update with me.
That was no problem.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye.
Later.